Good morning, everybody. As you just heard, my name is Stephen Woodhouse. So I'm going to talk to you about the grant opportunities for funding your innovation, and specifically the benefits of knowledge transfer partnerships. So I've got 10 minutes. I've got to cover a lot of ground, and I'm making these slides available for reference afterwards because I think that would be helpful. So today I'm going to talk about the benefits of the KTP scheme and to encourage you to apply, to describe the access to support that you have for your applications, the impact for your business, the eligibility criteria, and to suggest some engagement pathways. So first of all, what is a knowledge transfer partnership? Essentially, it's a three-way partnership bringing together a business, a knowledge base, such as a university, and a recent graduate that we call an associate. So a KTP drives growth by enabling a business to access cutting-edge research expertise to enable access to an opportunity that you've perceived in your landscape, but can't do at the moment. And it embeds competency and leaves a legacy of innovation capability. In the top right hand of my slide, you'll see that there are opportunities for technology-led KTPs and management KTPs. So I'll just describe the difference between those two. So KTPs have an enviable history. They've been around for 45 years. They're pretty much almost a well-kept secret, though. But they've helped over 12,000 businesses with funding, and there's a lot of evidence indicating the high impact that's achieved. For example, over 94% of projects achieve or overachieve their objectives, and the associates that we recruit to deliver the project, over half of them are retained by the business post-project. They really are symbiotic relationships. So as I explained earlier, the business will have a strategic need, and it will collaborate with a research team, typically at a university. We will recruit an associate, which is funded by the grant, to transfer and embed the knowledge from the research team. But the benefits flow in different ways. It's not just impact for the business, there are also benefits for the researchers at the university in terms of, well, ultimately REF, but in terms of teaching materials and reinforming the direction of their research. For the associate, they get a stepping stone into industry and a chance to apply their academic learning in an industrial environment. This is a schematic showing the TRL scale, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but it shows how the early levels of TRL are driven by a KTP funded primarily from Innovate UK through into commercialization and exploitation. And a KTP typically straddles levels 3 through to 7. So I'm a knowledge transfer advisor, and my role is working on behalf of Innovate UK primarily, is to help convene the collaborations, the marriage between the business and the university. Then we support the development of a grant application and the business case and the associated project plan. We also work post-award throughout the life of the project, which includes coaching and mentoring of the associates. And we also provide wider connectivity across the KTN community, that's the company I work for, to aid successful exploitation of the project. So there are 31 regionally based KTAs, and we're all connected to the business location. My bailiwick is, as you can see here, Wiltshire, Hampshire, Dorset, and the Isle of Wight. And those are some of the universities I work with locally supporting the development of KTP applications. I'm based in Salisbury, so I'm nice and central for everyone. Just to bring it to life, currently I manage 47 live partnerships. And if you add up all of the business cases post-project, 5-year business cases post-project, that reaches, it's more than £600 million of differentiated extra profit. And the overall investment, which is part grant funded, part business funded, is just over 10 million. So that's an impressive 58-fold return on investment through the scheme. So what would it deliver for a business typically? Well, the average uplift in net profit is almost 13 million cumulative post-project 5 years. And the average project length is around 28 months. But the projects can last anywhere between 12 to 36 months. So that's just an example of my own portfolio. Who could apply? Any business in the private sector or any business in the third sector, such as charities, but public sector organisations can't apply. So for the business, typically the contributions for an SME are under 35k per annum. Larger businesses would contribute more, so it's 50% of the costs. But as I've said, the grant is provided by Innovate UK, together with other co-funders such as the Research Councils and the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Eligibility for the project, it needs a strong business case. And it delivers a significant return on investment, as I've said. It opens up new markets and territories, but principally, and we help the development of this, is the market opportunity well evidenced and the growth forecasts credible. So the projects are about embedding knowledge transfer and enabling the business to gain an innovative position. For example, will the project outcome enable you to become first to market? Will the company gain a unique selling proposition? But above all, the KTP should bring specific advantages not otherwise achievable. I've included a few case studies and examples here just to bring relevancy to this audience in terms of the space sector. So a quick look on our database reveals numerous KTPs supporting businesses and research in the space sector. I've included just 3 here today. This is the first one with a company called Clyde Space Limited. And it's involving the development of CubeSats. What's interesting about this project is that it acted as a stepping stone to another shorter KTP that was used to run a CubeSat challenge. And I understand that some of these payloads were actually then launched into space. Here's another one, slightly different sector. It's interesting because it's international. So it involves a university in the UK and also a university in Johannesburg. And again, it's looking at collection of data for agriculture. This last one, I won't dwell into too much because I've realised that the next speaker, Joanna Davis from the University of Reading, is using this as her own case study. But it's another terrific example you'll hear about shortly. Just briefly talking about management KTPs rather than technical KTPs. So these are funded directly by BAYS, and they're looking at improving productivity and helping people management. And we've heard this morning from at least 2 companies that cover this area. And it's supporting SMEs primarily. So management KTPs, similar grant funding to support transformational, innovative projects with a business-wide impact. And it's driving cultural and organizational change. So how can you get involved? Well, if you have a fledgling idea, a business opportunity, or perceive obstacles to growth, primarily the best contact is your university KTP office. Or you can approach someone like myself, your regional knowledge transfer advisor. So either of those sources will help you assess whether your idea is a potential project suitable for funding a KTP. And if successful, as I said earlier, advisors are on hand throughout the project to provide guidance and support. Typically, you make contact, support from someone like myself aids the eligibility criteria, we develop an application, it's scored in the competition, and hopefully you receive a grant offer. So that's a very, very quick overview of the KTP scheme, what access to support you have, how it can impact your business, eligibility criteria, and engagement pathways. So just to summarize, I'm Stephen Woodhouse. My contact details are there, and I'd be happy to take questions at the end of this session. Thank you very much.